to separate, or
No, not really. Not as much as we talked about that the other day. I think the best teams are the ones where there's competition, but there's also separation between maybe 5 and 6, and we don't have that yet. I could see starting any of those 4 perimeter players at some juncture right now. So, Marco probably, maybe the most raw talent. Nick's the best shooter. Johnny's length, and Jamari's probably the best equipped to play in a college game right now from a feel and knowledge standpoint.
Any surprises out of those 4 guys?
I think Jamari McDowell has been a pleasant surprise to me. He's not like going to be an unbelievable scorer or whatever, but it's easy for the other guys to play with him because he knows what we're trying to do.
Bill, did you get a sense for your mortality when you went through that hard episode last spring?
That may be a little strong. I never thought I was in a situation where I was, it could go a really bad direction.
Yeah.
But I also didn't know I didn't feel bad until I started to feel better too. It was a wake-up call, and it's probably best for me that it happened. Obviously timing sucked, but I feel better now, and certainly realize now that I really enjoy what I do, maybe even more so if I hadn't gone through that.
Did you referenced it, but did you have any of those emotions, feelings walking back in here today?
No.
Okay.
No, not at all. I just didn't know what to say up there. No, I didn't have that at all.
Good.
But I certainly anticipate being here this year.
Yeah.
Bill, are you going to take things a little slower this year from last season, knowing how things ended up with you health-wise? You're going to take things like a little slower, tone down some things that you may have not toned down before? You
know what? I think if you take things slower, I've thought about that. I think you probably shouldn't be doing it if you have to adjust to do your job. Because if you take things slower, to me it sounds like you're not doing your job as well or backing off. What I think I should do is not spend any time on crap that doesn't have anything to do with me doing my job. And I think that by definition would be taking things a little bit slower.
Well, this last week is.
Go ahead.
Maybe about keeping the Big 12 tournament here in Kansas City, probably changed about things from last spring. Your thoughts on the possibility of the tournament being in Kansas City?
Well, I think personally, it's the best neutral court that there is to have a tournament. That was a joke. I actually I love it, Kansas City. I think what Iowa State brings to it, what us and K-State bring to it, I think even for schools outside our area, it guarantees you playing in a real atmosphere. You look across America and you watch these conference tournaments the first day and sometimes the second day. It looks like there's 1,000 people in the stands, and that'll never happen here in Kansas City.
What do you the state of the Big 12 right now, especially with the addition of Cincinnati and Houston, and after so much talk of realignment for the past couple of years, state of the Big 12?
Well, I personally think that we're in as good a position as we could ever be in. What was it, 10 years ago that we were hoping that we had a home, and now I think that we have solidified ourselves as the 3rd most solid league there is behind, the Big Ten and the SEC. And from a basketball standpoint, I don't think we have to take a back seat to anybody. So I like where we're at, and I think a lot of that is under the leadership of our commissioner. Because one thing about, say what you want to, in a time where we needed somebody to be aggressive, we had the perfect commissioner in place to do that.